Welcome to this lesson. We will start drawing the walls for our house. In the resources section, I have attached a PDF document that contains a layout that shows where the walls are going to be placed according to the grid line system that we have developed. So make sure to look at the resources section, download that PDF and use it as your reference guide as we go through this exercise. I will start by activating the wall tool, and this is found under design, architectural tools. So this is the wall tool. Click on it to activate it. So when that is activated, we open the settings dialog for the wall, and we find that we have options for geometry and positioning. We have profile, offset, modifiers, we have floor plan and section, we have model, we have structural analytical parameters, and the last one is classification and properties. So we're going to just check a few of these. So we'll start with geometry and positioning settings, and the very first thing that we are going to do is select a structure, the best structure for our wall, and we are going to go with the very first one, which is a basic structure. So click on this to select it, and then down here we have this, which represents the wall thickness. Let us change that to 200 millimeters as the thickness of our wall. Then we will have a straight geometry method, and here under wall complexity we'll have a straight complexity. We have other options for top link and home story, so we'll leave this as they are. And then to project 0, we'll have that as 0. So then we go to floor plan and section. Let's change options for cut surfaces. So where you can see override cut fill pens, click on it to select it. Then there is this button, select it. When you click on it, you have options for none, you have options for foreground, you have options for background and both. So select both. When you select both, you have other settings that have been activated. So there is cut fill foreground pen, and I want us to select pen number 1 for that, and for the background pen we select also number 1, which is all are black. Then there is options for the outlines. We have uncut lines. This is the preferred line. I have uncut line pen, and still I want to have this as number 1. And then that is set for the floor plan. We have options for model. I will leave that as it is for now. We'll change that when we come to textures in another lesson. So that is it. As at now, we have structural analytical parameters. And the very first one, which is the structural function of the wall, we will define it as a structural member, which is a load bearing element. So click on load bearing element, and that becomes a structural member. And then after setting this, we can say OK. So when we click on OK, we have made sure that the wall settings that we've customized under the default settings have been saved. So we start by drawing our walls, and the very first point that I'll start with is where we have an intersection between grid 3 and H. So this is the point. So my wall runs from there up to this point. So I will have a wall there. Sorry, let me change some options. So we have under the reference line here, let's change this to center. Then we will be able now to draw our walls with ease, so that when I come to this point and click on it and then draw that wall to that point, this grid line is going to be at the center. So that's it. So make sure you make reference to the PDF document in the resources section, and then we can be able now to draw or rather to draw the walls for our project. So this is it. So we have a wall there, we have a wall here, we have another one here, we have this, we have a wall running from this point to this point, then this runs up to the very last point here, which is grid A, the intersection of grid A and grid number 5. Then this runs up to here. Then we have this running up to here. Then this running to connect there. Another wall here. So we also have through that point, and we have other two walls here. Then this one runs from this point up to that point. So this should be E, yeah. Then from E to C, and then from there it runs back to that. Then we have a wall dividing this, and we have a wall here. Then we have another wall here. So this, we have that, and we have an extension from this point to that point. So this wall here, we have an extension that goes 600 millimeters towards the inside. So from here, this one extends outside by a few millimeters. So I can cut that. Let me change the line pen. Then from this wall is going to extend from here. Let's have 1200. Sorry, let's have this straight line as 1200, so that this wall runs up to this point. Then we have a wall here. Up to that point. So that's it. So this is what you should be able to do. We have both our internal and external walls in place. So just to explain, if you want to draw a wall, as we discussed, you activate the wall tool, and then you click on one point, then drag. You drag this pen, whether you are using your mouse or the touchpad. You move this pen to the direction in which you want your wall to extend. So like in this case, I click on this point and I move it to the right direction. Then after that, when I know that I have achieved the right length, I click to place it. Alternatively, you can click on the point where you want your wall to start. Then let's say you know that this wall is supposed to be 7.5 meters. So you just type 7500 millimeters, then click, enter that dimension, then your wall is going to be drawn. So let's say we add that wall, then we have another wall that I have drawn here that extends up to that point. Then you notice that these walls are not intersecting. You can be able to either select this and choose this option, stretch, then you can stretch it so that it meets. So you stretch it so that it meets the other one, and then they are going to intersect. Alternatively, you can just select the two walls. Then we have this option here for intersecting. If you click on it, you'll notice that these walls are intersecting. So those are the basics for drawing the walls. So we've come to the end of our lesson, and we have been able to draw both exterior and interior walls for our house.